You know, for me, crankbaits have become one of those things that is just a super good tool for winning tournaments with, because you can cover so much water, and you know, you can cover all the different depth zones, and I've got it down to where I've got a system. I mean, it's the rod, reel, line, lure, and it's been really effective for me. You know, I mean, confidence is a big thing in fishing, and you know, with a crankbait, it's the same way. You've got to have a lot of confidence that you got the right bait, but if you've got the right equipment so that your lure is getting down to the depths that the fish are at, that makes a big difference. You know, and right now we're fishing, you know, on Table Rock Lake, and it's kind of open water fishing, so I'm making really long casts. I've got a rod for really about every situation. If I'm fishing up tight and into the cover, you know, I'm going to use a shorter rod that's got a softer action so I get more control. Out here, when I'm making long casts, it's all about that 7'10" crankbait rod, and it's a composite rod that mixes, you know, e-glass and graphite together. So I've got a really fast tip, but I got that slow reaction time of that rod unloading when I bounce that bait off of these rocks and cover stumps and things like that out there in the water. So, you know, when I'm throwing this rod, it gives me tremendous distance, and I have great feel. I get the best of both worlds. I got that slow reaction time of the glass, so the fish eat it better. The rod unloads better, so I'm triggering more bites with it, and then I can feel everything. And that really is helpful when you're fishing crankbaits around grass. You need that sensitivity. So I matched that up with my KVD Cranking Classic reel, and this is just an incredible reel for me. It's got tremendous power. It's got a wider spool with a 5:3 to 1 gear ratio, and it basically gives me about 24 inches of line per turn. And you know, in the heat of the summer like this, speed is critical. You know, I want to get that bait down and hitting the bottom, and then I really kind of speed it up. I'm going to reel it pretty quick, and I'm pulling in a lot of line that way, and that bait's just really kicking around and triggering those fish. So if I got this rod and reel outfit, and I've got it matched up with a good fluorocarbon line, and I'm just going to use whatever line size dictates the depth. You know, right here, I'm fishing a lot of 15-foot water. I've got 12-pound Bass Pro XPS fluorocarbon, and I've got a Strike King Series 5 XD on. This bait will run 15 foot on this outfit right here. You know, so first off, especially with the wind, I can take it. I mean, I can throw the bait 60 yards right there very easily, and it doesn't take near the effort. That's the beauty of this crankbait rod, is it takes less effort with this glass rod to throw the bait a long way. So I can make a really long cast and get that bait down to the bottom. Ooh, there's a fish right there. And get that bait down to the bottom. It's not a very big one, but I got a bite anyways. Little baby. But you got to get all kinds. But I mean, that fish was way out there. I threw that bait up there, and you know, you want it hitting the bottom pretty quick. Little bitty spot. And you know, I probably landed in 8 foot of water. So you know, 10 or 15 turns in, that bait's down on the bottom already. So that 5XD is just a tremendous bait because it really has good balance, so you can throw it a long ways, and it dives so deep. It's got such a steep dive angle. So what I'm trying to do is match my line and lure so that I'm going to have good bottom contact for the depth of water that I'm fishing. You know, if I'm throwing a 6XD, that just takes it to the next level. With this outfit here, I can throw that 6XD and get it down, you know, 21, 22 foot, because I can throw the bait so far, and the fluorocarbon sinks and really helps a lot with your depth on these lures. So, you know, for deep cranking, it's pretty darn hard to beat. All I'm going to do is have a couple of these rigs set up. I'm going to have a 5XD, a 5, a 6, and a 6XD, and that covers me from everything from that 10-foot zone all the way up to well over 20 foot.